Okay. Okay, so good night, everybody. And today we are here for our final encounter of this weekly English conversation encounter. And I'm very happy because uh, I have seen how you can speak without any shame and thinking that maybe we're making mistake, but it's okay, and we have to learn from them. And well, since today is our last encounter, let me remind you guys that this is our final final screenshot for the activity. I thought that this activity was supposed to send the next week, but I think that you have to send this activity today, right?
Okay, the activity is about the video, but
The
I don't
activity
have.
of the
The
screenshots.
journal
Uh-huh. Is
injury.
this for today?
I'm not sure,
Because
teacher. I don't know.
some students were telling me that they they have to send this activity today, but I don't understand because I also have another encounters tomorrow.
Teacher, I think they moved the date. It's gonna be for 11th.
Mm, okay, Gabby.
Yes,
Okay,
they did.
so so
But
I would like to start.
I think in the forum and in the activity guide
Mhm.
there is the date for today, but I don't know.
But they sent an email. Uh, they sent an email. I just reading it.
Till
It says
11.
that it says the submission of the journal of task 2. This day has already been extended in the evaluations environment from May 5 to May 11.
the the date
El journal.
the date was moving to May
Antes era
11.
para el 5. Sí, sí, antes era para el 5, ya entró en la evaluación, lo movieron para el 11.
Okay. Yeah, because some students were worried about that, and I also have two more encounters tomorrow, so I was lost about it. Okay, girls. So as I assumed, you already watched the video about Dr. Winch, and I would like to start with your summary or your perspective about what Dr. exposed in that TED Talk. So who would like to start talking about the content of the video in 2 minutes? Hello, Marlene. How are you?
Hello, fine. How are you?
Excellent, Marlene.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna repeat. I would like to start this encounter. Starting with the summary that you have about the video that you watch of Dr. Winch. So, who would you like to start with her summary? Liliana?
Me, me, teacher.
Me,
Yes.
teacher. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
Liliana, remember 2 minutes.
okay, teacher. Um, I watched the video and I think is very interesting and is totally um happens in the real life for most of the people because the video is about the emotional illness or emotional um, injuries because the doctor says that the people most of the time take care of the physical health, but the emotional health is um, don't care. Um, for example, most people feel a lot of emotional pains. For example, loneliness. Even a person is surrounded by other persons, but um, inside of them they feel loneliness, is very sad, or there are another emotional illness. For example, when we felt rejections about ourselves because maybe we don't um, um, achieve our objectives, or we feel losers because the maybe the our boss or our teacher
Okay,
make feel
Liana, that was good.
okay.
Excellent. Okay, so let's continue with Evelyn.
Okay, teacher. In the video, they showed an interesting idea within the reality that's present today, because I will lot what was lived several years ago. Emotional health was not taken into account, and are simple. The men don't cry, and women were told why cry. Yes, I was struck by the example given by the panelists in front the one that the shield go while playing. Then he cleaned himself and put on the band-aid. But what happens with emotional and mental health, where is they really don't play it? Being behind this mental health the most affected on daily basis. I think that do the the pandemic, many people took the time to think about what has happening to them, and that life is really going between work and study and other activities, to feel busy and when to show really think about how you feel. You get into a strong emotional avoid. No more, teacher. Hello?
Okay, Evelyn. Yeah,
Okay.
Evelyn. Uh, so who wants to share her summary, Gabriela?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so now two
Well,
minutes.
it this psychologist was talking about his experience in his career. He has been studying psychology for 9 years, so he was talking to us about how we care more about our physical health than our psychology or mentally health. I mean, so he was sharing some stories about a kid who fell off on the floor, and he was ready like to put himself a bandage. Um, all he was saying about that We know that we have to take care of our teeth. We know that we have to eat very well so we can be healthy. But also, he was telling us that we don't take care of our mental health. And he's making a point that this is our mental health is as important as our physical health. So depression, loneliness, and all that feelings that we feel inside can make us feel sick. It can cause death too. So he was sharing stories about people who feel that way. For example, he was talking also about three kids who were playing with the same toy. Every one of them showed like a different way to see the problem, and he was making.
Okay, Gabriela, thank you so much for sharing your standpoint. That's good. Uh, who else? Marlene or Francie?
Okay, me, Marlene.
Okay.
Okay, the video says that the video says that some human beings have favorite things for the body, that for the mind, but that we should practice emotional hygiene. Some of the psychological injuries are failure, rejection, or loneliness, which can impact our life in delicate ways. Loneliness can't only lead to sadness or illness, but it can kill a person. Loneliness causes a high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and damage the immune system. If we don't take care of emotional hygiene, then they might can prevent us from success through the session, telling us that we can't do something. This can lead to frustration. And finally, and once the human being is convinced of something, it's very difficult to change our mind, because the mind is difficult to change once we are convinced. So human beings must fight against feelings or helplessness and negative. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Marlene. Francis.
Okay,
Go
teacher.
ahead.
In this video, the Dr. Witch decide he said our mental health is more important than our oral hygiene, according to the psychologist Winch. Is something gracioso. It is important to realize that if there is something important is to track mental health. In this video, he talked about long lines as a first part. It is necessary to know how to deal with it because it's terrible and greatly affects mental and physical health and causes ailment whose result it is catastrophic. Many times it also causes other types of unpleasant situations. For this reason, it's important that we practice emotional hygiene. We must bear in mind that is disorient us and can lead us to depression, which today is the factor in many deaths. For the other hand, failure is another reason that causes its psychological illness is or mean tell us that we cannot achieve the things regard or goals that we want.
Okay,
Uh,
Francie, two
okay,
minutes.
teacher. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. You keep talking. You had some pronunciation mistakes, but in general, your idea was clear. So the pronunciation of the main topic of this video is how is it? Hygiene.
Teacher,
Mispronounced.
I cannot
Favorite,
hear you.
Teacher, no se escucha.
favoritism.
Teacher,
Uh,
I
let,
can't hear
let me
you.
check. Here.
It's interrupted your voice. Your voice is interrupted.
Okay, so now can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Yeah, yes, teacher.
The thing is that it's raining and I have no word in my headset, but I think that the internet is having problem now. So okay, so I was telling Francis that you had a couple of pronunciation mistakes, but your idea was clear, and you were talking about what Dr. Winch was talking in his presentation, and I want to help you with the pronunciation. The main topic is emotional hygiene. That's the pronunciation. Higiene, higiene emocional, emotional hygiene. There is another word, loneliness. Okay, loneliness. And another word
Okay,
is
teacher.
favoritism. Favoritism, que es favoritismo y puede parecer que la pronunciación sea favoritismo, ¿no? Entonces, favoritism. Okay, so have that pronunciation in mind in order to participate in the next step. Okay, so now let's share our point of view and also our response to the following questions. I would like to start with this one. Is what Dr. Winch's point about favoritism? Do you understand? What Dr. Winch point about favoritism? Favoritism.
The points are the lonely, the motivate. Other point is what is the other? Mm, the emotionally genuine. Um, or there is the mm, depression, depression. Or there is the mm, mm, fitting. That no, we can't be negative. No podemos ser
Okay,
negativos.
Yeah.
yeah, we cannot be negative, but those are some aspects that he talks about in the video. But there is a specific point when he talks about favoritism. So what he means or what exactly he said about favoritism.
Me,
Who
teacher.
wants to answer the question? Okay, Evelyn, go ahead.
Okay. At the first moment, he said that since there was a little boy with his twin brother, he compared even the cookie, even if he was not angry. No.
But he used that experience as an example to talk about favoritism.
Me,
Who
teacher.
has the point? Okay, Liliana.
I think he refers to we all favoritism the body over the mind. That is we must prioritize our psychological health eh, instead of our emotional hygiene. I think that is he is the point of the Dr. Winch about favoritism. The take care of the body instead of the emotional
Yeah,
hygiene.
that's the main point of uh, that question. Gabriela, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just the saint of of. It's just the same the girl said before.
Gabby, I'm not listening to you. Um,
I was just telling that what the girl said before. That's what I think about favoritisms.
yes, that's the main point of
Yeah.
Dr. Winch. Marlon, do you have anything to add?
Yes, um, he says that the human being prefers to take care of the body, but not the mind, because we are always bathing, cleaning, sunbathing, among others, and we don't leave the negative or bad feelings that don't let the human being advance or succeed in what with us. We are does.
Hi.
Hola, hola. I didn't realize that I have my microphone off.
Mm.
Okay, I have the next question in order to keep discussing. Do you agree with Dr. Winch's affirmation? Someone asked, what do we teach our children about emotional hygiene? He said nothing. Uh, do you agree or what do you think? Let me know.
Me, teacher.
Okay, Liliana.
I agree with the Dr. Winch affirmation because, in fact, in schools and in our houses, in our home, we never uh, teach nothing about emotional hygiene to our kids, our children. Um, Maybe we teach to them to take care the physical health, but never give them the tools for take care their emotional um, health. For
Yes,
this reason, I
Liliana.
agree. I agree with
Okay,
the
Liliana.
affirmation.
Okay, who else wants to share her opinion or standpoint about this affirmation?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Gabriela, go ahead.
And the affirmation is, what do we teach our children about emotional hygiene? He
Mm-hmm.
said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure when this conference was given, but if I can talk about like many years before, I can make sure that it was real for it was true that we weren't teaching our kids about emotional hygiene. I think now this topic is like getting more relevance, and more parents and people are talking about and teaching their kids about emotional health. So I kind of agree.
Okay. Who else? Marlene, Francie.
Me, teacher. Uh, well, okay, I agree. I agree with this statement. Science students are not exposed to many sensations that they did not have before. Do the social networks within the profession it is very important to consider the mental health of students, especially in children and teenagers. Science it is now observed that they show their feelings to more people and feel more exposed and fragile. Fragile? No, I don't know. Fragile. Yes.
Freya.
Fragile. Okay. Fragile.
Okay, teacher, me.
Okay, Francie, go ahead.
Yes, teacher. About this question or affirmation, yes, I agree. About the question, what do we teach our children about emotional hygiene?
Hygiene.
Hygiene, hygiene. Yes, with my son, in my experience, actually, is I teach him a lot. Always talk to him and explain that the most important thing, thing is to be happy and know how to face the situation that arise because the others people they had different point the we and are we so he have he had to be calm about the situations because I always um, prefer talk with him uh, but about this reason. Okay.
Okay,
No
yeah,
more.
Francie, yeah, and it is true. We have to teach. Well, I don't have children, and I don't want to have them, but I think that we have to give them the tools to in order to solve the problems. in a calm way, but we also have to give them all those tools, also in order to defend them against all of the bad things that are in the world. Okay. Marilyn, did you already participated? I don't remember.
Yes, uh, in this, in my opinion, on this question, no, I don't agree because in my case, we always teach the children that they must get up when they fall and continue. That if they lost in a game or an exam, it's better to prepare to achieve the objective. Um, we always encourage children to continue and not become negative or pessimistic people.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Okay.
Okay, I have another. This is more personal, a personal question. Uh, are you aware of how your mind reacts to failure? You can watch the question. Are you aware of how your mind reacts to failure?
Me,
Okay,
teacher.
you can think and answer.
Liliana.
Okay, Liliana.
Teacher, for me, now is when I to know how to be aware about failure. But when I was more young, and when I was teenager or I remember that I felt very bad about my failures, and because when I failure, I felt very sad, or I think that I don't be able to do something. Um, but now I think I improve that uh, mood, emotional mood. I
Okay.
I now I to know that how manage that failures.
Okay, Liliana, that's good. Yeah, we have to. We become a mature adult, and we know how to handle with good and bad feelings. I think.
Me,
Who
teacher.
else? Go ahead, Francie.
Okay, about this question, yes, of course. Many times I have feel a collapse. I feel that my mind reacts naturally, obviously, because in those moments you can see, you can feel that is all black. Many times I feel that my mind is clear in this moment. Then I reason I draw a strength from where I don't have it.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
for me it's natural uh, mm, to I
To react.
reaction.
To react.
I react. Um, y digo, saldré adelante.
I'll keep going.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, so
Okay,
Marlene,
teacher.
Evelyn.
Yes,
Okay, go
teacher.
ahead.
Oh my God. Okay, teacher. It depends on the situation and the place. Because if the situation is in my work, I must show strength and courage, and that nothing happened, and that the situation can be overcome because I am the example. But at home, if I collapse and cry a lot.
Yeah, I think that crying is one of the best way to clean our mind because I don't know if we don't get that trust out, it's going to stay there and it is worst for us, I think. So Marlene or Gabriela, who wants
Okay,
to?
me, Marlene.
Okay, Marlene.
Um, yeah, sometimes I don't release um, and and I add to pessimistical, and
Mhm.
I regret wasting time and money. But then when I'm calm, I realize that I may have another change or that maybe that's not important, and compare it to other things.
Gabriela.
Yes, teacher. I think I'm the woman that went on a date and this man like walked away and she started like telling herself all the bad things about her. I think
Mhm.
that's me because
Okay.
every time I feel in something, I start like looking all the bad things about me and I cannot focus on the positive. I think I'm gonna go into therapy.
I think that it is more common than we think because in the worst situation and when things don't work for us as we want, we start to look for answers and the uh, the answers always is me. I didn't do this well. I'm like that. I don't look like this for this or yeah. And we start to make to ask question, and the answer is a bad answer, but always about us, not about anything else. So that's more common than we think.
Exactly.
So well, uh, there are three motions or three statements more, and let's give our opinion, but each for each one, everybody participate in each one. Okay, so I'm gonna share them here. Okay, so let's go over the following statements. The first one is our mind is hard to change once we become convinced. Combined, sorry. We can read and think about our answer to share them with the team here, but only the first one. who else? Who wants to give her point of view or share? Yeah, a point from her own experience or something. Our mind is hard to change once we have been convinced. Do you think it's like that, or it is easy to change our mind?
That's true.
Why?
Because we're just convinced about something and our mind is gonna put all the effort to change their opinion. So as soon as we have something in our mind, it's gonna be difficult to change. It doesn't mean that it's impossible, but it takes time.
Yes. What do you think, Evelyn? Evelyn, are you there?
Teacher, in my opinion,
Yes, Diana. Okay.
it depends on in what we become convinced, because we convinced that we are capable
Hmm.
or able to do something. It's not hard to change our mind.
Hmm.
For example, if I think that I don't have to do something, mm, probably my mind is it's don't react. But if I think I I am I can to do something, my mind is always, I convince my mind that I am be able to do something.
Okay, Liliana. So,
Okay, teacher.
yeah. Evelyn, go
Disconnect
ahead.
my microphone. Okay, I really like the phrase when you are in emotional pain. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would expect from a truly good friend. The okay, the attention is when I talk about the brother, about the disease, it's really reason. But de, ay, sí, cuando se enteran de la enfermedad se enferman más. Se me olvidó. Es terrible. Por ejemplo, for example, the
So, yeah.
cancer. It's a very dangerous, terrible. Pero lo maneja mucho la mente. Ya.
No Spanish, no Spanish.
I'm sorry.
Yes, but it is true. I have a friend, a coworker. She was detected cancer, a breast cancer, and but you, I looked at her and she was all the time like, she was not worried about it and she was happy. And it was for me like something is very strange to watch her because I was worried about her, but she was like, no problem, Leo. I'm good and I'm gonna be good, and I'm fine. Don't worry. She's now in her chemotherapy, but everything has gone. So I don't know. Our mind has a very important aspect, and also it is very strong for us. And if we don't take care about our mind, we don't meet that strength that we have in order to also take care of our body. So I think that that is the point of the Dr. Winch. So, Marlene, do you have a opinion or just a comment about this? Our mind is hard to change once we become convinced. Or
Yes,
Francis.
Yes.
I have a little
Okay.
opinion.
Okay, Francis. She's
in the
always
in the
smiling.
first in the first phrase,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Praise.
I think that is possible to change your mean or mean as long as you want. Although those remain, but I think too the he Hawaii is right in the other form or the other point of view.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that it could be easy for some people, but it is also a hard task for others who need help and also professional help because it is the mind is something so so big and so difficult to understand that nobody has all those answers that we need in order to understand how our minds works because sometimes we even know how much we can know, how much we can learn, or how much we can do if we don't convince ourselves to do those things or to yeah to taste or to try many things because we are convinced that we can't that we cannot learn that we cannot do many things but our mind is very strong. Okay, so Marlene, do you have an opinion?
Yes. I think that happens when we are stubborn. Uh, that happens
Stressful.
more with our grandparents. But since we are rational beings, rational, we
Mhm.
can improve every day and not continue in the bad because we don't advance in life. We are rational beings and can control our feelings.
Yes. Well, according about feelings, I like this statement, and I don't know why, but the second one is our mind and our feeling, they are not the trustworthy friends we thought they were. What do you think about the mind and our feelings? They are not the trustworthy friends we thought. What do you think?
Teacher,
Read
I
this
cannot hear
statement.
you.
Okay. I was asking about the second statement that it says our mind and our feelings they are not the trustworthy friends we thought they were. What comes to your mind when you read this statement?
Because I think our mind acts like different depending of the situations we're in. So when something good occurs in our life, our mind is gonna be happy and like telling us all the best things. But when we fail, or when we are going through a hard moment, is when our thinkings are and our mind like starts like telling us back things.
Yes. Okay.
Mm,
Who else?
me teacher. Me
Okay.
teacher.
Okay. Okay, Liliana, go ahead.
Uh, yes, teacher. As I said you before, it depends of the situation because when I feel very sad or very depression, a deep depression, I think my mind and my feelings there are not the trustworthy friends, because maybe they I don't know, maybe I take an bad decision because I am in that moment I am very sad or very depression, and maybe I take bad decision at that moment.
Yes.
In other
Okay.
occasion, maybe could be a trustworthy friend when I feel confidence in myself, confidence, or I feel happy, I make better decision, or I think better.
Yes. But I think that we have to learn about emotional intelligence, because we most of the time think that there are some feelings that are bad, or that we don't have to feel them, but the all the emotions and all the feelings, they are exist in order to feel them, and we can control that. Our mind is like a different person in us, and it decides according to the moment, to the person, to the situation, what to feel. And we have just the body to experience uh, that emotion or feeling in the moment. But we have to have this emotional intelligence in order to know how to express that emotion or feeling that we're feeling in the moment. Uh, Marlene, what do you think about this second statement?
Okay, I thought it was the three sentences in one opinion, but in my opinion, as to the second
Mhm.
statement, is we are rational beings and can control our feelings. We are in control of our body.
Okay. Evelyn.
Okay, teacher. Yes, I depends on the situation I had. I usually consider myself a very good listener, but I am not good at expressing what I feel. I prefer to live into myself and cleaning my feelings by crying.
And you, Francie, what do you think?
Okay, okay, teacher. Bueno, good. Um, I think is true. It's true because certainly feelings uh, we 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 can be happy or bad. In many situations, we react in a not very appropriate way. Um, then we we think this is noise better manera or why
Wait, wait.
way the reaction or the thing the things um, because this feeling no is the better, the better friend. No son de confianza. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that we have to learn that we cannot be happy all the time, that we cannot be sad all the time, that we cannot be angry all the time. The emotions and feelings
Hello?
exist in order to feel them. Yes, Evelyn.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that's I think that that is the advice for from the presentation of Dr. Winch, and the emotions and feelings they are set in order to feel them, but we have to learn how to express those feelings and emotion. That's the thing. So, would you like to share a last conclusion or a last opinion about this topic?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Gabriela, tell me.
We have to go to therapy and we have to take care of our thinkings. We have to take care of what we pay attention. Um, we have to find like peace of mind, and just as we take care of our body, of what we eat, um, we have to be careful with our feelings and thinkings and emotions because they're really important.
Okay,
Yes.
teacher, I have
Yes.
a message. Okay, that is why treating and thinking against the negativity of better or thinking. So we can help our emotional, psychological, and physical wounds. With this, we build emotional resistance and thrive, uh, thrive the improve our quality of life and be happy. Is
Yes,
my
I think
okay. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's a good advice, Francis. Who else wants to share a
Me,
last
me teach,
conclusion or
me
Liliana?
teach.
Go ahead, Liliana.
Yes, in general, the 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 idea is to take care of more in our emotional health and try to be more happy and become more positive and more hopeful. Even you are sick or even you are have problems or uh, most of the time you thinking negative, the idea is to try to practice or change our habits in order to be better person and be happy.
Okay, so
Teacher, last thing I forget
okay.
because mm, most of the time the emotional pains or injuries could be is worse than the for example the alcoholism or blood
Mhm.
pressure or cardiovascular disease is
Yes, because
more worse. The emotional
the
pain,
mental
yes.
yes, the mental pain and mental diseases don't uh, don't make noise, you know, because when you are suffering something that anybody else can notice, they can help. But mental health is very quiet. Yeah, mental illness are very quiet, and because we are ashamed because we don't want to talk to anybody because we apart from the others. So that's the bad things about mental health, mental illness, or yeah. So who else wants to share our her last conclusion or point? Okay, if there's no more conclusions,
Me,
we can finish. Okay, Marlene,
me
go
teacher.
ahead.
My conclusion on the subject is that no matter the barriers, we must always improve. We should not stay crying or lamenting, because that doesn't help help us at all. We stay on the road, on the other people continue, and if we stay in failure, it's like being dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Evelyn, did you hear Marlene? She said, "Stop crying at home." Evelyn.
Teacher, I me disconnected. Yes, but the cleaner is the correct.
Yeah, but I think that we can cry it a couple of times just to wash away our mind, but we cannot keep crying all day.
But my desperate, no more, no, it's a day by day, all the time. No, 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 no,
You,
tampoco.
you have a specific schedule for that.
Turbine cleaner is my cry.
Okay, you have an agenda in order to cry.
No, tampoco. Día de por medio, no, tienes, no, no, tampoco.
Okay, girls. So I think that it was a fun and also an interesting topic, and I recommend you that you as a teacher have to take care about to take care of our children. They are the future of the world, and uh, let's help them to grow up safe and with a intelligent and emotional intelligence very strong in order to help us when we get older, you know. So I think that it was everything for today, and remember this was our last encounter. Maybe I will meet you for the interview if someone's scheduled with me the interview. But this is our last encounter, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher,
Bye
thank you
Okay,
bye.
very
teacher.
much.
Bye.
Okay,
Nice to
teacher,
meet
thank
you.
Thank
you
you.
for your
Thank
Bye.
last
you.
answer.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.